how bad of a loss is this for the Clippers?
Look, it's a bad loss. It's not a very good look considering, Skip, it's been a bad week for Paul George and Kawhi. On the last possession, they get D'd up by Goat James. And on the last possession, Bucket Booker bust both of them.
Book them. Book them both. Throw them in the clean.
You remember that? You remember Kawhi 5-0?
Book them, Dano.
Skip. Now, everybody keeps telling me the greatest two wing defenders since Pip and Jordan are those two guys.
They are.
Now, I watched earlier this year, I watched Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart almost get into it because they're like, no, I want Kawhi. No, give him to me. Both of them lit him up. You saw that, I saw that. Skip Bayless. Kawhi Leonard is not the same defender he once was. His lateral movement, his side to side, his quickness is not what it used to be. And if anybody says it is, they're fooling themselves. They're holding on to things of the past.
Tom Brady, Kawhi Leonard, just not what they used to be.
We're going to talk about Tom Brady a little later. Right now, this is all about Kawhi.
Yep.
Oh, all about Kawhi is or isn't.
Shannon Sharpe says, Brady and Kawhi, ancient history.
Skip, all I'm saying is this. It's a loss. It's a regular season loss. Unlike the Lakers, when they lose, the sky's falling. I told you I had my concerns. AD is not the guy. But the moments the Clippers lose, it's a regular season game. All I'm saying is keep that same energy. Skip, stop this notion that the Clippers are unbeatable. That's all I'm saying. It is a loss, and you people expect. I didn't expect. Now maybe some people did expect some team to go 8-0 in the bubble. I never expected that. But this notion that the Clippers are unbeatable is a fallacy. You know that, and I know that, but I've never seen in all my years. I'm 52, and I go back. I remember. I'm trying to think. I go back to the Supersonics. I remember the Supersonics beating the Bullets, and the Bullets returned the favor. So that's how far I go back with NBA Finals. I've never, ever seen two superstars on a team and everybody hyping up the two bench players, Trez and Sweet Lou. I've never seen that. So now, in other words, what Skip Bayless and a lot of people are telling me, Kawhi Leonard needs Lou Williams and Trez Harrell to save his legacy. Because that's what you do every time for LeBron. Ray Allen hits a shot, he saved his legacy. Although LeBron was 25, 11, and 7 through that playoffs, through the finals, and the last 4 games, he was 32, 10, and 7. But no. Ray Allen saved it. Skip, stop this. The Clippers lost. Booker is for real. He's gotten 70, he's gotten 50, so he can flat out score the basketball. And once Skip, you remember, I think it was maybe last year or 2 years ago, he was in a pickup game. And to keep him from hitting the game winner, they double and triple teamed him in a pickup game. And he's like, man, what's going on here? He's like, we're trying to win the game. So they tripled, so we know what he represents on the offensive end. He's as good as we have in the league. He's coming. But Skip, he did a number on him. I'm just trying to figure out how do you have two great wing defenders and can't nobody cool him off. Where's the cooler? Not Paul George. Got him. Kawhi didn't even want it. Skip Bayless, you need to stop this. All I'm saying is
I haven't started.
No. All I'm saying is this. They've lost 2 of the 3 games. And when they shot the ball lights out, everybody, see, that's what I'm talking about. But Skip, stop this notion that the Clippers are unbeatable. That's all I'm saying. It's a loss. It's a regular season loss. Only the Lakers lose the championship every time they lose a game. Stop, okay? Can we just pause?
I'm about to start. Thank you very much. You know what? You were right. The Clippers got exposed yesterday. They got exposed as a team that is much mentally tougher than your Lakers. They got exposed as a team that fought back when most teams would have said, no mas. Like your Lakers did on Saturday against Toronto. They finally ran into a team, a defending champion team, minus Kawhi Leonard, but a team that is mentally tough and that got after them on defense. And what did your Lakers do on Saturday evening against the Toronto Raptors?
Same thing Clippers did.
10:23 left in the game. From that point forward, after LeBron hit a 3-point shot, They got outscored by 19 points down the stretch, and they said, no mas, we give up. You can have this. You are mentally tougher. You want it a lot more than we do. And yesterday, the Clippers showed you they will not quit, even in a game they should have just said, okay, that's enough of. And I'm going to remind everybody that the Phoenix Suns, you said nobody's going to go 8-0 in the bubble. I don't know how, but they're the only 3-0 team right now in the bubble, right? They got to 3-0. Right. So I'm saying, wait a second. They beat Washington, and they beat the Mavericks. I don't know. They beat the Mavericks. That was
a very impressive. I mean,
and then they beat the Clippers, and they beat the hell out of the Clippers in the first half, because I will give you this. The Clippers took the first half off because the Clippers were coming off a game against the Pelicans in which they hit a franchise record 25 three-pointers. They made 53% of their threes against on that day, the lowly Pelicans, who trailed by 42 late in the third quarter. That's how that game got so far out of hand. So yesterday, I was not surprised that against a young, tough-minded, up-and-coming Suns team, that the Clippers said, let's take our foot off the gas just for one afternoon. It's a little earlier in the day. Let's just cruise through this one because we got some bigger games coming up against Dallas and Portland. Let's not spend ourselves on this game. The Phoenix Suns, coached by Monty Williams, who's a fine man and a fine basketball coach, and just what this team needs, are loaded with young talent that is starting to come of age right before your very eyes.
One of their best young talents is not even there. Kelly Oubre.
That is true.
He's not even there.
I love him, but I love all the rest of them too. And I'm not saying that Devin Booker is Steph, because he's not, and I'm not saying he's Clay, because he's not. But all he does is take and make big shots. He's got huge clutch gene. He's got big guts. And if you stay close, if they hang in and they get him the basketball with 5 seconds left, you better watch out, because he is going to find a way to take and make that shot. And he's done it to a lot of other teams other than Kawhi and Paul George yesterday. So what happened? First half, they take it off. They trail by 13 at one point. And then at halftime, they said, okay, that's enough. Here we come. And guess who led them? My man, Kawhi Leonard, said in the second half, here I come. He makes 7 of 11 shots. He scores 17 points. And with 30 seconds left in that game, he makes 2 clutch free throws that LeBron couldn't have even sniffed at that point. LeBron would have gagged one of those free throws. You know it, and I know it. If we could see what happened, he makes the 2 free throws. Boom, boom. And then what happens as we go to the other end? Help me out here. Kawhi makes the second one. Swish. And here we go to the other end. And guess what happens? The Phoenix Suns finally miss. They've been making everything all day. And Ricky Rubio gets stuck because they just get suffocated. And he takes what I thought was a pretty poor shot. Here we go. And guess who's going to get the rebound ultimately? Here's Rubio. He has to jack one up here, and it's no good. And Big Zoo gets the rebound and throws it right to Mikal Bridges. What are you doing? It's Big Zoo. He had 18 and 12 in this game. He looked pretty dominant. Big Zoo, you loved him when he was a Laker.
Yes.
And he turns right around with the rebound and a chance for them to go win the basketball game, and throws it right to Bridges.
Skip, he was trying to get the ball in the outlet.
He was trying to get an outlet, and there was a hand in the way, and that's the end of that story, because all of a sudden it's timeout, Phoenix, and they get, with 5 seconds left, the last shot in question. So what happened on the last shot? Devin Booker couldn't find a crack anywhere. He tried and he tried and he wheeled and he dealed, and there was Kawhi jumping in his path, and there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go, and he finally pivots, wheels, falls away. Can you contest any better than Paul George contested?
And won.
Okay, can you contest it any better without actually blocking the shot?
I don't know. LeBron did.
No.
LeBron did. Yeah. LeBron contested PG.
You know what? That's where on the playground you just say, too good, congratulations, see you next time.
Skip,
that's what you say.
And he fouled him. And he hit him on the wrist. Paul George hit him on the wrist. Skip, you said Devin Booker is not Clay, he's not Steph. He's different. Clay is more catch and shoot. Steph has range and Steph has handles. Book can put the ball on the floor and get to the mid-range. He's more mid-range. Now, he had some big threes yesterday, because it seemed like every time the Clippers was about to make a run, Book did something spectacular to quell that run. They have a young team. DeAndre Ayton, Skip, he's a 7-footer, but he's more old school, prototypical. Back to the basket. Yes. Does he have 3-point in his diet? Yes, he has that. But that's not a steady diet. Wish Joel Embiid would look at him and say, you know what, I need to stop shooting some of these threes.
Yep.
But Skip, at the end of the day, I want to hear all that. So the Lakers like, man, this is an early afternoon. Toronto's in the East. We don't really care nothing about this. You didn't say that. What I'm noticing is...
Toronto is the defending champ.
Now they the defending champs when I said that yesterday.
Well,
but they didn't have
taking
Kawhi.
Somebody seriously.
Whoa. Time out. When I said that Monday, you said you didn't want to hear that because they didn't have Kawhi.
Well, they don't. They're not as good as they were last year. Don't try to sell them as better than last year.
The only reason the Phoenix Suns are there, Adam Silver invited them the 12th seed because he said, y'all need some extra conditioning for next year. So let's not pretend
they're 3-0, and they're going to make life miserable for a bunch of teams, for 5 more teams. For Indy and Miami and OKC and Philly and Dallas. Watch what happens.
All I'm saying,
they are all going to struggle with this team.
Time out, Skip. Time out. Just a second. All I'm saying is that they got an invitation because they needed some extra conditioning. They got 30 wins. They got 30. They had 29 wins going into this, right?
Okay. They've got 3 in the bubble.
Okay.
You like
that? So let's not pretend. So no. What you're trying to do is that you're trying to overvalue them now to try to minimize what happened to your Clippers. Flip City.
The Suns are a grand total of 3 games back of the Grizzlies. You like that?
Hold on.
They're 3 games back. Okay. Are they mathematically eliminated? They are not.
Time out.
Are the odds long? Yeah.
Time out. Just a second, Skip. The Grizzlies are 3 lost. They're 0-3. The Suns are 3-0, and they're still 3 back. So what were they at the start of the bubble? 6 games back. So stop this notion, Skip, that they had
5 to play.
Stop this notion that they had won 50 games. They bust the Clippers up with Paul George and Kawhi.
Bust them up. It took like one of the greatest last-second shots I've ever seen contested. It doesn't get any better than what he pulled off.
Skip, he's doing this without Kelly Oubre, who had been playing unbelievable.
Love him.
All I'm saying is, hold on. Was Paul George? Hold on, wait a minute. You trade for Paul George. You say the earthquake that hit was Kawhi Leonard. So you got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and you're talking about Trez Harrell is not being there. He's tending to an emergency.
I haven't even brought that up yet.
Skip, how about give the Suns some credit? Stop minimizing.
I just did.
No, you didn't. What you tried to do is that you say you said the Clippers didn't take them serious.
Not for a half, but they took them dead seriously in the second half. And when Phoenix kept hitting threes in the second half and kept creeping away from them, they could have just said, okay, if you guys want it that badly, we got 5 left in the bubble. We don't care. The Lakers folded their tents on Saturday and said, we can't compete with this. They're double-teaming AD, and we can't get the ball to anybody.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. They lost by 19 points down the stretch. They got outscored by 35 to 16 from the 10-23
You know what I'm noticing about you, Skip? Because the first game they lost, you said it was a moral victory. The third game they lost, you said, you know what? Even though they were down, they found a way to fall, and they showed tenacity. They showed mental toughness, but they caught an L. They caught an L at the beginning. They caught an L at the end. So at the end of the day, they got 2 L's and 1 victory. I'm trying to figure this out. Skip, man, look here. What diet you on? Because you're real strong, because you can move goalposts better than anybody I've seen in a very long time.
You said that yesterday.
You keep moving them. You don't hold the Clippers.
I'm not moving them.
Yes, you are. You don't hold the Clippers to the same standard you hold the Lakers. And you told me
I just keep kicking extra points through the uprights after I score yet another touchdown on you. Touchdown, kick. Touchdown, kick.
This is the same man that says they need to take special teams out of it. They need to take the kicking game out of it. And now you kicking PATs.
That's the rule.
It's the rules now.
I'm kicking little easy extra points against you.
I'm getting tubbed. I'm going for 2. I'm getting tubbed and getting 2s on you. Skip.
Because you're so far behind.
No.
You have to go for 2 every time.
I believe. Skip, the Clippers, the Suns, all they got is Book. They got Book.
Boy, they had a lot.
DeAndre Ayton was giving it to y'all. Yeah. I like his game. He's getting better and better. But this notion that the Clippers lost to a 50-win Suns team that had Marley and Barkley is disingenuous, Skip, and you know it.
And Pat Bev pulled some kind of calf muscle yesterday, lasted 8 minutes. Now he's gone. We'll
Skip,
see how it works.
Skip, you know that. You know how this works. When you go from not doing much and you go full speed, you have to worry about soft tissue injuries.
Yep.
That's why they say warm up. Well, he basically came back and they threw him in. Okay, the kid, you get that a lot. But I'm still saying, even with Pat Bev out, even if Trez does not come back, do you or do you not have two bona fide superstars?
Yep. So Lou Will came back. What do you call him? Lemon Pepper Lou, says Shannon Sharpe. And he played like sort of stir fry yesterday because he wasn't really in the flow because he's played none in the bubble.
Okay.
He played in none of the scrimmage games, none of the first two games, and here he's finally back after a 10-day sort of quarantine / punishment for going to Magic City from the Magic Kingdom. But he's back in the Magic Kingdom, and they're trying to figure out how to play with Lou Will after a whole hiatus for the pandemic, and he misses the whole first part.
But Lou Williams not there for the first 60 games of the year, so now he misses 2 weeks, and so we got to find out how to play with him, although we've played 60 games with him before.
Yep. And there is still no Montrezl Harrell. And I'm not exactly sure why, but he lost his grandmother, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. He has now been gone for 19 days from the bubble.
Yep.
So can they survive without Montrezl? Well, they can't go win the championship without him.
Why not?
Because he's the beef eater at the end of these games. He comes in, I told you, the two closers are Lou and Trez. Off the bench, they are the most dynamic duo in the league. You know it, and I know it. And they have been missing in action. And again, I don't know what's going on with Trez. I don't know how long you grieve. I'm a bad one to ask about that because I never took a day off after I lost my father, my mother, my sister. I just don't take days off because I think you should just go on and go forward. So I'm not going to comment on what he's doing or not doing. That's up to him. That's his own personal choice to make. But right now, they don't have him, and we are creeping closer and closer to the playoffs. It's just we got like a week left here?
Yeah, but what's baffling to me and what I cannot get my mind around, I've never in the history of the NBA where you have two superstars and Shaq and Kobe say, man, we really need Rick Fox. If we don't get Rick Fox, we got no chance of winning.
Wait, time out. Did I ever say that Kawhi and Paul George are better than Shaq and Kobe? No. Did I ever say that Kawhi and Paul George are better than Jordan, period? Jordan, period. Because he wasn't a duo. He was a solo.
They are superstars. You keep telling me, even though LeBron James won a championship in 2016, in which he led every player that touched the court in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. He led them. And over the last 3 games, he was 36, 12, and 10. And you tell me Kyrie saved him.
Well, he did.
LeBron averaged 25, 11, and 7 against the Spurs.
Who was the closer for that team?
You see?
Kyrie Irving. Who hit the shot that won Game 7 at Oakland? Kyrie Irving.
So what did 25, 11, and 7? What did a man that lead every statistical category? So what role did he play?
We're just talking about closing.
Closing.
Skip. Lou Will, Montrezl, they close.
Skip.
They slam doors on people.
Let me ask you a question. How do you close on a house if you don't get a loan? How do you close on a house if you ain't got no money? How in the hell can you close if you're not there?
As a Laker fan, down the stretch, are you more afraid of Big Zoo or Montrezl? Help me out. No. Who are you more afraid of? You are cowering over Trez.
None of them.
Trez is going to beast mode you. You know it, and I know it. He would have beast moded Ayton yesterday.
Hold on. Was Trez there with the last time we played them in their building? Was he there, Skip? I just need to know.
You're going to win an occasional game. If Avery Bradley makes 6 threes, you're probably going to win.
You see what you did? You see what you did?
6
Not Avery Bradley making 6 threes, but you touting Trez and Lou Will. Which is it?
All I know is my team is not whole. Yeah, and you have lost Avery Bradley.
Now your team ain't whole.
Yep.
Now your team ain't whole with 2 superstars. You told me that LeBron and AD, they got a window game, regardless of who comes off the bench, no matter what production Danny Green, what production such and such give you. Why can't you ask the same of Paul George and Kawhi? That's all I'm asking.
All I'm asking is if Big Zoo doesn't make one stupid pass. we're having a different conversation. We'd be talking about something else because you'd be saying, the Clippers did it again.
Can I ask you a
They
question?
fought back. They battled. They gutted it
Can I ask
out.
you a question? How many games this year does Big Zoo have 18 and 12? So he gave you something they haven't given you. So how about that?
Against Dayton. That's pretty good.
But old Book. Book said, come here, both of y'all. Come here, both of you.
Book them, Dano.
Skip, and he fouled
Both
it.
of
You
them.
saw Paul George. That's an and one.
Yeah, they can't cover him. But nobody can cover him.
It ain't nobody.
Who on the Lakers could have stopped that?
hold on.
LeBron?
We
You think
did.
LeBron could have D'd him up?
We beat the brakes off him. You remember, Skip? We went to Phoenix and beat the brakes off him. You
Man,
remember?
6 months ago?
Oh, no, 6
8
months
months ago? I don't know when it was.
All I know is yesterday you didn't do it. I don't know what happened 6 months ago.
Game over. Victory parade. I thought it was yesterday.
Boy, it's been a bad week for your guys. LeBron D both of them up on the last possession.
He was
and on
good.
the last possession, Book beat both of them. Both of them mug.
Better defensive team, Lakers or Clippers? Help
I
me
can't
out.
tell. I can't tell which one. Okay, in the bubble. Who is 2-1 and who's 1 and 2?
You got me.
I got you. Go
Except
get your kid.
one of ours was a moral victory.
I ain't
loss.
know that we'll
Yeah,
do
it
no
was because we didn't have Lou or Trez.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Lou and Trez.
I'm proud of myself, actually.
You ought to be really ashamed, Skip. That's embarrassing. This is really embarrassing.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.